Hello everyone. Today's book is on the B-17 Flying Fortress. This one is Building the B-17 Flying Fortress by Bill Yenne, or Yenne. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway. It's a detailed look at manufacturing Boeing's legendary World War II bomber in original photos. And this comes from it has photos from all the plants, Boeing, Douglas, Lockheed Vega, and it covers the B-17 from the very first ones through the D models, one section, and then the E, the F, and the G. It goes into detail talking about the blocks. It's like if you have a B-17F block 1 through, for Boeing, it would be 130, maybe even 135. Douglas and Vega may be in the 90s, but it talks about how all the increments and all the new stuff was updated through the blocks, scheduled them through the plants at different times. It gives a lot of pictures with the serial numbers and the plant designation and the block number. It goes and shows you that, like, everybody paints the inside of a B-17 zinc chromate. Well, that might have been fine in a early model B-17E, but by the time the end E's were going into F's, there was no paint on the interior from the back of the radio room compartment through to the tail. You can see where it's just bare metal. Most of the ribs in the stringers are olive or bare metal. Some have still a little bit of paint on, and some, I guess, that were left over and already produced. Also, too, a lot of brackets still had some paint on them, and as they go through the B-17, you can see the paint starting to disappear. By the time the Boeing Block 120 was being produced, there was no paint anywhere inside the fuselage except for the cockpit. The nose section had gone bare metal. The radio compartment was bare metal. You can see the bare metal with the bare aluminum with the grade of aluminum stamped on it and stuff all over the place. And then as it goes into the first G's and early G's, you can see it's the same way. And then you can still tell in the black and white pictures that the cockpit was still that dull green. So was I guess you could say, the firewall or the bulkhead between the cockpit and the nose. But all the nose surfaces on the inside had gone to bare metal. There was no painting of the wood anywhere. There was some of it painted, I guess, with that non-skid black surfacing that they had for the standing surfaces, for in case somebody gets shot and all the blood on the floor, that would be there. But let me see if I can get this thing open and still be able to give you an idea of some of the stuff. It's all basically black and white pictures. It gives guides to nomenclature and organizations. But let's see if I can get to. Here's the early models. Cockpits, this is in the E section. here we are into the Fs. And here's where it starts, the early blocks. And then it tells you, when the alteration for the next block started, and then when the next block started, so you could tell the end date for the previous block would be the starting of the new block. As you can see in this picture, in a block 40F, there's no paint in there. It's just all bare metal. And it was that way quite early in the B-17F models. And like I said, some of the late E's. Then, like here is a comparison of the cockpit controls. On the left is a B-17G65BO in the serial number, and on the right is a B-17G120BO in the serial number. But it gives a lot more cockpit differences. It shows a Block 85 B-17F, the way she came out of the factory, what she looked like. And there was a lot of stuff still added at the modification centers. Talks about the radios, shows the inside of turrets. See if I can find this. And then on this one at the top, it shows a B-17F-120 in July of 43. And you can see coming out of the factory, it's just, looks just like all the rest of them. But this was the first block to receive the bars on the star. So it would be the star and bars. Tells you they had a red circle. Then like at the bottom, it shows a B-17F 115 from Boeing. It still has some green in the radio compartment. Oh. But anyway, I know I shouldn't have moved it because now I'm starting to lose the... But anyway, on and on and on. It gives you all kinds of in-depth information. So if you really are a B-17 nut like I am and you want to do the interior of a specific model of B-17 or a specific serial number that you can look up the block. It goes into the G's. But I'm trying to find the one picture. Here on this one, it shows a Boeing B-17F 115BO. And you can see tells it has staggered waist windows on these, and it has a later model blister-covered waist gun. It shows the armor mounting and stuff like that. And then here it shows a B-17F 120. Shows there's no paint on the inside of the nose. Got the black curtains. Here's another 120. There's another 105, and you can see it's got the green ducting cover on it. But by the 120, it was gone. And then I think in the back of the book, it goes in and shows a lot of G's. This is what was added to the G at the Cheyenne modification centers. And it shows a lot of detail of restored aircraft, which are all always painted on the inside, which is not correct. There's a few color photos of some real production aircraft. Gives a B-17G or a B-17 control panel. So all in all, this book is really quite highly detailed for people who, like I said, are B-17 geeks, like myself. So I thought I would show this to you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking for a decent book to get a lot of in-depth information and photos and breaking down the blocks and everything else, this would be the book for you. It's, I would say, one that you should have. It may be the best nerd book out there for B-17s. And like I said, it goes to show you that I see so many models done over and over and over with zinc chromate interiors, and they just weren't there. And maybe in the very first ones, I had a guy in the neighborhood who owned a local neighborhood hardware store. He flew with the 398th, and he said he remembers no B-17 he was ever in that had paint anywhere but up in the cockpit area. And he said he came in training in early 44 on Fs here in the United States and early Gs. And then he flew with the 398th in combat missions over Germany in late 45, late 43 through 44 through early 45, and got his 35 missions to go home. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you could, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. I keep losing subscriptions, 2 or 3 at a time, and so it gets kind of disheartening. But if you could help me out, I'd certainly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. You all have a great day. Be safe. Talk to you later. Have a good one now. Bye-bye.